I think, there's a lot of things about India itself that I think is massively scaling. One of the things that I really like about India is it's a consumption-oriented country. We've barely made stuff for ourselves. We buy imported everything, and this is not just as consumer brands, but also as, in manufacturing. So, for instance, if you wanted to buy a lot of the auto parts in the past, the auto parts would come from the US, from Korea, from or other places, and we would buy them and then install them in our cars and kind of build our cars. Today, most of our car parts are actually built in India. And that phase is moving. Our best clothes used to go abroad. We used to buy the same clothes back with a brand that's fancy, and then it would be written made in India, but then it would have this fancy brand attached to it, and we'd pay more. We are willing to pay a lot more for premium mangoes, but most of the mangoes were shipped abroad. Now this was bad policy as well, because India promoted exports rather than selling to domestic consumers. But now the government's changed stance and said, okay, let's do production-linked incentives rather than export-linked incentives.
So basically, make in India for India.
Make for India. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
I think the make for India concept, and you think of this as it will substitute imports at some level, and because we'll be making for local reasons. And when you make for local things, you can do a lot of customization that is very local. And you go to China, you find this. They make so many things that are fascinating, but they just solve people's everyday lives. That's because they have a manufacturing ecosystem, and they say, well, you know what, this can be solved by